In this episode, I'd like to share the answer to a question from a seeker who is practicing Brahmacharya, also known as Semen Retention in modern times. Perhaps you have the same question in your mind. Please note this excerpt is taken from the book called Semen Retention Mastery. The book link is in the description. The question is, what is the step-by-step guide to semen retention? The first and most important step is to take a vow. The best approach to achieve Brahmacharya is to take a vow for a certain period and then to gradually extend this period further. During the vow, one must try his level best not to entertain lustful thoughts and replace such thoughts immediately with divine or pure thoughts. This is very important, as it is impossible to wrestle and fight lustful thoughts when they show their heads. The only way is to avoid fighting them and instead immediately displace these thoughts by replacing them with divine thoughts. The second step involves keeping your mind constantly occupied. The next important course of action is to ensure that the mind is constantly kept occupied with constructive work throughout the course of the day. Additionally, a certain amount of time should be kept aside daily for yoga and pranayama, which means breathing exercises, or for exercise and sports. Furthermore, some time should be dedicated for deep God meditation. While meditating, one should surrender to God and request for His grace and blessings in attaining unbroken brahmacharya without asking for anything materialistic like money, name, or fame in the beginning. This is absolutely required for success in celibacy, as brahmacharya becomes impossible without His grace and will. If the aspirant's intentions at achieving brahmacharya are genuine and heartfelt, God always blesses him with success. The third step is to avoid all forms of visual and verbal stimulation. It is important to avoid all forms of visual and verbal stimulation that fire up temptation. They may include movies, magazines, pornography, cinema posters, and similar content. Also required is to avoid the company of people and women who constantly dwell on the sex plane. The lifestyle of a celibate should be clean and free from the company of friends and people who act as impediments to celibacy. The fourth and final step involves following a simple diet. A simple diet low on salt, spices, oil, and fats is advisable. Onion and garlic should not be cooked with food, but can be eaten in medicinal doses in the raw form once a week for blood purification. Moreover, consumption of dairy products in limited quantities gives its share of benefits and is better than a full vegan diet. Meat, eggs, and mushrooms are to be avoided in the initial period. Next, the right timing would be to have breakfast at least by 9 in the morning, lunch before 2 in the afternoon, and a dinner consisting only of fruits and raw vegetables by 9 at night, and go to bed by 9:30 at night. This helps the aspirant to wake up at Brahmi Muhurtam, which means the auspicious time between 3 in the morning and 5:30 in the morning, and practice yoga and meditation. An aspirant wishing to accomplish unbroken brahmacharya should be out of her bed much before the sun rises, have her bath, and meditate. These are the basic requirements that help promote brahmacharya.